it's Laurie here. I'm back for another day of BookMas, and today we're going to talk about the sequels that I'm really excited to read in 2021. Now, I have a massive issue reading sequels. I just do. It's an issue I have. I am trying to get better. I'm going to actually make it one of my goals in 2021, and I'm going to actually have a complete TBR list that I want to complete that I'm going to make, and I'm actually going to change up my goals a little bit next year and kind of make them a little bit more incentivized, but I'll talk about that in my goals video. But I really want to get better at reading sequels, like want to get better so badly. So here are the sequels in 2021 that are coming out that I'm really excited to read, and there are a couple I know that are probably coming out, but they don't have dates yet, and they're just like no pictures, nothing. So I'll mention those at the top. Blood and Honey is probably going to get its third book in 2021. I'm hopeful. Also, I've heard rumors Aurora Rising may get its third book. But with the pandemic last year, I know writers really were struggling to actually write books. So I'm sure that that will probably be an after effect in the next couple of years. We'll probably have fewer books to look forward to, but maybe we'll have more books. Who knows? But the first book that I'm really excited to read, I'm actually caught up on this series, which is so exciting and so rare for me, is A Vow So Bold and Deadly by Bridget Kimmerer. I enjoyed the first previous books in the series, and this is the concluding novel, and it's a Beauty and the Beast inspired retelling. At the start of it, the second book followed companion characters, but all the characters are coming together for a third book. I'm really excited. I hope that I enjoy it, and I can't wait to see how this series ends. Book 2 took a really interesting turn that I was not expecting, and I'm really excited for it. So the next book I am really excited to get my hands on, I actually did get a gift, a e-copy, I won it in a giveaway, is All the Tides and Fate by Adeline Gray. Her first book made my favorite debuts of 2020. I posted that video earlier during BookMas. I really like this book. I love the underwater setting. I like the characters. I love the magic system. I thought it was like a unique premise. I'm really excited to read All the Stars, All the Tides and Fate. It's a direct sequel, so it's not a companion book. I've seen a lot more companion books in recent months, or recent years, I guess, but I really like the characters, so I'm definitely going to be checking out, and I'll definitely give you guys my thoughts. And I did get an early copy, so hopefully I can share my thoughts with you guys before February. So the next book is another one of the series that I just have not got around to reading, and honestly, I'm a little bit disappointed in myself because it features one of my favorite characters in the Shadow and Bone series. So Rule of Wolves is coming out. I still haven't read King of Scars, but here's a gorgeous picture to inspire me. This was one that I just forgot about. I can't read the summary. I can't tell you what it's about, but definitely I have to get around to reading it. Another one that kind of falls into this category is Namesake, which is the sequel to Fable by Adrienne Young. I have that one too. I haven't started the series, so again, it's sort of a similar thing. Yeah, so that's another one. I didn't even put that on the list originally, but definitely Fable by Adrienne Young, which I will include a picture here of Namesake. Again, a super pretty picture. I will have to get around to reading it, and I'm definitely going to probably add that to one of my books I must read in 2021. But the next book I am going to chat about, oh, actually, Namesake does come out in March 16th, according to my notes. So, that's another, I have a little bit of time to read that. I thought it was coming out earlier, but I guess it's not. And then the next book I, again, am really excited for because I love this book in 2021 is Bone Crier's Dawn by Catherine Purdy. Picture here. I really loved the first book in this series. I thought it had a nice mix of magic, up on world, fun characters, different point of views. It was really, really engaging and super fun, so I really hope that I can get around to reading it, and I'm definitely going to add this to my sequel list for 2021 because I really liked the first book, and I really sped through it. It was an Owl Crate book that I still have a copy of on my shelf, and you know I like a book if I keep it, so definitely high on my TBR for 2021, and I really hope that I enjoy it. I hope Owl Crate does a special edition with that because I like the cover that I got from them. That's why I kept it. The next two books I'm going to chat about are both sequels, and I like the first book, but I didn't love the first book, so I'm hopeful that maybe the second book will captivate me a little bit more. But the first one is Ravage the Dark by Tara Sim, which is the sequel to Scavenge the Stars, which is a Count Monte Cristo gender bent version. And here's a gorgeous picture. I struggled a little bit to feel connected to the characters in this one and the world building, and I struggled with the pacing, but I'm hopeful that maybe now that I have a background of the story and the characters, I'll feel a little bit more invested in it. This one's supposed to come out March 9th, and I definitely want to check out her previous series because I'm intrigued enough. But the next book I want to chat about is Phoenix Flame by Sarah Holland, and this book also comes out on March 11th. So the next book I'm going to talk about is Phoenix Flame by Sarah Holland. Here is a pretty picture. This book is supposed to come out March 11th. This is another same experience super similar to Scavenge the Stars. I liked it. I didn't love it. I struggled with this one a little bit because I felt like it was a really, really oddly paced story and the world was just a little bit weird. But I liked it enough and it was a quick read, so I'll definitely check out book 2 and see how I feel. I really liked Everlast when that book came out by Sarah Holland, and I struggled a little bit with Evermore, but again, I really like her writing style, so I definitely keep reading. And then one of the biggest books I'm so excited for this year is probably no surprise to anyone, but that is Chain of Iron by Cassie Clare, which is supposed to come out March 2nd. One of my massive goals in 2020 was to catch up on the Mortal Instruments and like all of her companion books. And due to COVID and the pandemic life, I was able to do that. I still have to finish one more book, which I'm hope to finish by the end of this year. It's the Book of the White, and I really hope to get around to that. I'm in the middle of reading one book, and then I'm going to add that to my listening queue. But again, this book I'm so excited for. It felt so hard for these characters, and I really cannot wait to see what happens. And I will definitely be reading this when it comes out. I'm waiting to see if they're going to do any like pre-order or like signings. This is the 2021 is still going to be a bit of a weird year with that, but I'm hopeful I can maybe get a personalized signed copy. I'm going to keep an eye out for that. Yeah, but that I'm definitely really excited for that and so excited to read it because the characters definitely captured my heart in 2020. The next two books I just had to add in here because they are book series that I have yet to start, but the sequels are coming out. They're coming out in May, and I just want to quickly mention them so I don't forget to catch up before May. One is the sequel to House of Dragons, War of Dragons, and one is the sequel to Incendiary, which is Illusionary. Here are both covers. I really have no excuse, Escap. I just did not get around to them in a timely fashion. So I am going to add them to my end of the year TBR, and if not early 2021, and hope that I tackle them. So I'm ready for the sequel. But again, these books come out in May, so I hope by then I will have caught up. But I am excited to read them. And then another book that I am, again, really excited for. It comes out June 22nd, and we have been waiting a while for this one. This is Witch Shadow by Susan Dinnard. Here's a pretty picture. This book is coming out in June. I have still not read Blood Witch, and I feel like I need to reread Truth Witch and Wind Witch so I can really understand this world. I do have a copy of Blood Witch, so I'm just debating if I want to read it without rereading the first books, and I think I need to. It's been about two to 3 years since I've read them, and I remember really liking them. I might just see if I can get them on Audible so I can just like listen to them a little bit more quickly. But I'm really excited to dive back into the series, and I think this might be the last book. We did get like a companion book a couple of years ago, so I read that and I liked it, but I'm hopeful that I will be able to be caught up by June. So keep me honest, friends. The next book I'm really excited about is the sequel to Forest of Soul, Broken Web by Laurie Emily. This book does come out in June, but I will probably wind up reading it closer to Halloween because it is a creepy, eerie forest story, and I've been loving reading those during Halloween because they're the right balance of eerie and creepy, but not horror. I really liked the first one. I thought the characters were super fun. I know she's also coming out with a middle grade this year, but I am really excited to dive back into those worlds and see these characters again. And then the next book we are going to chat about really, really quickly is The Queen Will Betray You by Sarah Hennon, which is the sequel to The Princess Will Save You. And this is coming out, according to my notes, July 6th. I really liked book one a lot. It has a trope that I don't see a lot where a girl has to save her former best friend turned lover. Like, that was the whole premise, and the princess had to save her future be lover, and I love that trope. The end of this book left off on such a cliffhanger that I'm dying to get my hands on book two. It comes out in July. I will break my streak and read some fantasy in the summer, but I am definitely reading this one because it sounds right up my alley. And then a book that the date for this one has been changing a little bit. On Goodreads, this is one thing, but on Amazon, it's at another. So The Night Will Break You, I think. It's the sequel to Where Dreams Descend. When Night Breaks by Janelle Angelis, which is the sequel to Where Dreams Descend, is coming out in August. So here's the cover. Really did like Where Dreams Descend, and it was like a mix of Moulin Rouge meets Phantom of the Opera with magic. I liked the characters. I thought it was really engaging and really, really fun. I like the first one, so I really hope to get around to reading the second one. Those are just some of the sequels that I hope to tackle in 2021. I'm also going to do a list of the sequels I did not get around to in 2020 and add those to another list. So you guys will see that in a couple of days, probably. But I hope you guys are staying safe and being well. Let me know in the comments what are some sequels I have maybe forgot, and I will try to add them to my list or let you guys know if I'm interested in them. And I'll talk to you guys later for another video. Bye, guys.